Good morning, everybody. It's Steve here from CharlieNoise Games and Collectables. Got the day off today. Was planning on doing a little bit of yard work, but it's pretty wet out there today, so the lawn's going to have to wait a little bit longer. So I'm sort of sitting around doing nothing, and I thought, hey, I've heard of worse excuses to rip some packs. Got a couple of sleeved boosters that I've picked up sort of just at retail from a department store nearby over the last little bit. These are just like sort of leftover sparey type ones that I don't really have any plans for, so I figured let's crack them. Let's see if we can't turn a profit on these fellas. Got the 2 Paldea evolved, and then just a single Destined rivals. Obviously our big hits, Paldea, you're looking for the Magikarp, and Destined rivals, you're looking for the Mewtwo, obviously. So let's crack into these. Refreshy packs. Number 1. Just sort of move my hands a little bit so we can see a bit better. There we go. Wish me luck, everybody. These things are becoming expensive. No more buying these at retail, I don't think. So we got a Combi, Jigglypuff. Let's put them somewhere where people can see them. Giraffarig, sorry. Tropius. I can already tell that we've got nothing in here. Gothitelle. Arctibax. Giacomo. Tarantula, if you say so. And my boss stiff. And then Spirit Bomb. Alright, so El Zilcho is the code card if anybody wants it. Alright, back to so far so bad, I suppose. But this is actually going to play into a little bit of a post-opening discussion I wanted to have as well about Pokemon and how it works versus Magic the Gathering. Oop, what have we done here? Got a little lip on there or something. No, it should come out. Why not? Not being aggressive enough, I guess. Alright. Gothita. Wingull. Again, I can already see that we didn't pull what we were after. Mashif. Pineco. Gothorita. Sure. Honchkrow. Sudowoodo. Relor. Another Mabostiff. And another Spirit Bomb. What the hell? Oh, code. There you go. Alright. Last but not least. Picked this up at retail yesterday. $8.50 for the pack. And that's kind of plays into sort of what I was wanting to talk about when it comes to Pokemon. Obviously, the price of these going up. Once upon a time, Paldea Evolve, you could get these sleeve boosters at your local department store for sort of $6-ish. Obviously, quite a bit more expensive than that now. But once you open them and rip them, it seems like if you don't get one of the one of the top hits, within the sort of top kind of dozen or so hits, it seems like the packs themselves have like literally zero value at all. You either rip something valuable, which we clearly haven't, Zenazenta. Oh, there you go. Or you rip something valuable that's either gradable or resellable, and will sell for more than the value of the pack itself. Or you get literally nothing. There are, admittedly, I understand that there are set collectors out there, but they literally need one copy of each card to complete the set, right? And these are literal cents, right? Like people just chuck these out, so there's no value in the base set of, I would argue, sort of probably any of the more recent sets. Obviously, as things get older and vintage, become less attainable, less findable, then people can ask a little bit more money. But I watch a few Pokemon streams, I like to, even if I'm not sitting there with rapt attention, sort of with my eyes glued to the TV screen, like I do like to have nostalgianomics on in the background while I'm like doing housework or whatever, and the sheer volume of Pokemon that gets ripped, for so few hits, the rest of it, I mean, it's essentially then rubbish, right? So I guess my question would be like, how is this any different from gambling, right? Is this just like gambling with extra steps? Um, and I don't really know. I mean, I don't really open a lot of Pokemon. I don't trade a lot of Pokemon, to be honest. Again, more of a Magic the Gathering fan. And, you know, when I open Magic the Gathering, it's to play. You know, I'll buy a booster box and I'll rip it, and the packs within are used to draft and to play sealed, you know, with either my son, who is also into it, or friends. Um, Whereas you just don't really see that with Pokemon. I mean, I got into it sort of admittedly fairly recently. It was sort of brought across with Pokemon Pocket TCG. I love the app. I love the free cards. You can build decks. You can battle without it costing you anything. The freemium economy is pretty good. But the card game itself, like, my understanding is that it's, you know, it doesn't see a lot of play versus how much is opened. You know, so much of it is just for collectors. And now that we've got this, the current market seems like more of speculation than anything else. You know, and forgive me if I'm wrong, because you know, I don't pretend to be an expert on the topic at all. But I think that's why I don't participate in the Pokemon market very much. Is simply because, for the life of me, I can't grasp what it is about Pokemon that has people so fervently attached to it. Like, I understand that it's, you know, the world's biggest IP. They've got a lot of fingers in a lot of pies. You know, a lot of people sort of came over with the earlier games. That's why 151 is so popular, because they have like that nostalgic attachment to those individual Pokemon. And then, you know, obviously there's the cartoon / anime, and there's books and all the merch and all that sort of stuff. And I understand all that, but as far as the card game goes, it's not a particularly deep card game compared to all the other ones that are out there. And maybe that plays to its favor. I'm not really sure. But it seems like, you know, you jump on these Pokemon live streams, like Rip and Ship streams, and it's like people will just rip endless packs for the sake of the possibility of hitting like one or two cards. And if they don't get those cards, then it's like, hey, just refund my shipping and and give the stuff away or chuck it in the bin. So yeah, I don't know. Please, if you have any insight into where I'm going wrong on this, please do let me know. Let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to hear your insight and your opinion. But outside of that, you know, didn't get any hits. We've just wasted $20. You know, $20 just gone. My kids won't even want this stuff. So I don't know. I suppose if your kids would, let me know and I'll send it over. I suppose we'll arrange something. Okay. Bye.